Ferrari has been going through a rough patch in the early stages of the 2025 Formula One season, especially when it comes to Lewis Hamilton's performance in the SF25. After joining the team with high hopes and expectations, the seven-time world champion has struggled to adapt to the car, leaving fans and analysts confused. Many expected Hamilton to instantly bring race-winning pace to Ferrari, especially after a promising start in pre-season testing and an impressive showing in China. However, things quickly spiraled, and it seemed like Ferrari and Hamilton were losing control of the situation. But now, just before the Miami Grand Prix, something has changed. Ferrari has finally discovered what might be the biggest problem holding Hamilton back. And this discovery could be a breakthrough moment, not just for Lewis but for the team as a whole. According to journalist Ian Parks, Ferrari has developed a complete theory that explains why Hamilton has been struggling so much in the SF25. This isn't just about setup or surface-level problems. It's about the fundamental way the car interacts with the driver. For Lewis, the SF25 has felt completely off balance since the start of the season. It's not that the car is slow in general. Charles Leclerc has managed to extract strong performances from it. But for Hamilton, it feels like the car just doesn't respond the way he expects. The issue isn't minor. It's not a simple tweak or adjustment. It's a total mismatch between Hamilton's driving style and the behavior of the SF25. The team now believes that Hamilton is dealing with a deep imbalance in the car, not just a race-to-race inconsistency, but a constant fight with a machine that behaves unpredictably for him. Think of it like trying to dance in shoes that don't fit. Every move feels awkward. Every step feels wrong. And when you're used to dancing perfectly in sync for over a decade, that kind of mismatch becomes exhausting, physically and mentally. For a driver like Hamilton, whose style is built on rhythm, feel, and trust in the car, this is devastating. The issue isn't just in how the car drives, but in how Hamilton connects with it. He's used to Mercedes machinery, which operated under a completely different philosophy. Now he's in a Ferrari that reacts in ways he's not used to. That's where the real challenge lies. The tools are all there, but the connection is missing. And that's been clear from the results so far. After the early high in China, things went downhill. In Saudi Arabia, Hamilton finished 7th, right where he started, while Leclerc flew to the podium. Even more painful was watching Lando Norris overtake him easily, while Hamilton struggled just to get past a Williams driven by Carlos Sainz. But now things are starting to make sense. For weeks, the team couldn't understand why Lewis wasn't delivering the performance expected of him. His telemetry didn't show clear errors. His feedback was uncertain. There was no obvious reason for the dip. It wasn't that Hamilton had suddenly lost his edge, but that something in the car was simply not clicking. And that's exactly what Ferrari's engineers have finally acknowledged. The breakthrough wasn't in a new part or a sudden upgrade. It was in clarity. They stopped looking at the symptoms and finally identified the root cause: imbalance. This moment of understanding changes everything. You can't fix a problem if you don't know what it is. Now Ferrari has a direction. They know where to focus their energy. They know what Hamilton is fighting against. And this gives them the chance to not just adjust the car for him, but to rebuild trust between driver and machine. That's not an overnight fix, but it's the beginning of real progress. Frédéric Vasseur, Ferrari's team principal, deserves credit for how he's handled this situation. In the face of disappointing results, he hasn't panicked. He hasn't blamed Lewis or thrown the team under the bus. Instead, he's offered steady support and stayed focused on solving the problem. That kind of leadership is rare in a sport that thrives on drama and quick reactions. Vasseur understands that Hamilton isn't the problem. The car just hasn't met him halfway yet. There's a quiet confidence in how Vasseur talks about Hamilton. He doesn't question Lewis's talent. He knows what Hamilton is capable of when he's comfortable in a car, and more importantly, he sees the value of investing in Hamilton for the long term. This isn't just about 2025. It's about building something lasting, about setting up Ferrari for future success. That's why this breakthrough before Miami is so important. It could mark the moment Ferrari finally stopped guessing and started building something that truly fits their new star driver. This new understanding also comes with a cultural shift inside Ferrari. Historically, the team has been quick to point fingers when things go wrong. Drivers have often taken the heat, but now with Vasseur at the helm and Hamilton in the garage, Ferrari is changing. They're learning to be patient, to look deeper, to find solutions instead of scapegoats. That kind of mindset is what separates struggling teams from champions. Hamilton himself has been honest about the challenge. He's admitted that Miami will still be tough and that this season won't be easy. But he hasn't given up. He hasn't walked away. That says a lot. He came to Ferrari not just to win races, but to help shape a new era. And that takes time. It takes resilience. He knew it wouldn't be simple, but he still chose to take on the challenge. That speaks to who he is as a competitor and as a person. What's happening now isn't a failure, it's a process. It's about recalibration. Hamilton is learning a completely new language, and Ferrari is starting to understand how to speak his. That's the kind of transformation that doesn't make headlines in the same way a race win does, but it's just as important. It's how you build something sustainable. The signs of improvement won't be dramatic at first. They'll come in small ways. A setup change that finally feels natural, a race run that holds balance from start to finish, radio messages that sound more confident. Those are the first steps in turning things around. And if Ferrari continues to back Hamilton with this kind of support and focus, those small steps could lead to something much bigger. Miami isn't just another race. It's a key moment in this journey. The track itself is unpredictable, a place where anything can happen. That makes it a perfect testing ground for this new understanding between Hamilton and Ferrari. If the team can apply what they've learned, if the car feels more balanced, and if Hamilton starts to feel at one with the SF25, we might see the first real signs of a turnaround. Not necessarily a podium, but a performance that shows direction. Leclerc, who has adapted better to the car so far, continues to perform well. But even that has helped the team gain clarity. It shows that the SF25 isn't a lost cause. It works under the right conditions. Now the challenge is to make it work for both drivers. That's what this moment is about. Not just fixing a car, but building a team where both Leclerc and Hamilton can push each other and grow together. There's a productive tension here. Hamilton and Leclerc aren't clashing. They're sharpening each other. That's healthy. That's what a top team needs. Leclerc's familiarity with the car has helped Ferrari stay in the fight early on. Hamilton's fresh perspective is now helping them question old assumptions. That's how progress happens, and that's why Ferrari's recent breakthrough matters so much. It's not about one change or one moment. It's about building a foundation, a strategy, a culture. One that isn't afraid of struggle, but uses it to grow. One that doesn't just react to bad weekends, but learns from them. This is the start of something deeper. It's not a miracle fix, but a real shift in how Ferrari operates. They're finally choosing to stop chasing instant results and start building towards something lasting. That's what Hamilton represents, not just success, but thoughtful progress. He's forcing Ferrari to stop dreaming of the past and start creating a future. And this approach could change everything. For years, Ferrari has been chasing titles through bold moves, dramatic changes, and emotional decisions. But now, with Hamilton on board, they're taking a different path. A path that's slower, more deliberate, but potentially much more rewarding. This season may still be full of challenges. There will be more tough weekends, more frustrating races. But if Ferrari stays on this course, if they continue to support Hamilton and build around his style, they might finally become the team they've always wanted to be. Not just fast, not just passionate, but smart, consistent, and capable of winning not just races but championships. Miami could be a turning point, not because Hamilton will suddenly dominate, but because it's the first race where theory meets action, where everything Ferrari has learned can be put to the test. And if it works, even just a little, it'll be a sign that the comeback has already begun, quietly, steadily, with purpose. Hamilton didn't come to Ferrari to chase easy wins. He came to help them grow. And now, for the first time, Ferrari is showing they're ready to do just that. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of something very real. Let's see what Miami brings, because if Ferrari's new understanding holds up, and if Hamilton finally feels at home in the SF25, the rest of the paddock might need to start paying very close attention.